Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, are you going to be traveling at all to other places for the film in general, aside from that scene and everything?
It's possible. It's possible. If I do that, I would love to go to France, specifically Paris and London. There's so many occult symbols I would like to properly record that would lend credence to the film. I would probably do a European tour: Paris, London, and just outside of Frankfurt, there, the home of the Illuminati.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we'll pray for you. I hope all this comes through. That would be amazing.
Well, yeah, it's so complicated now because now I'm having to deal with distributors and more than one distributor. There's somebody out there who is going to make a secular version of my film. I'm not too happy about how he's chopping it up, but I do need $3,000 for music licensing because that's what I need to pay for volume one. So in order to start on volume two, I got to pay, $3,000 for volume one. And
For the stuff that you're getting licensing for, is it are they big names? I mean, are they big artists or what?
well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, the fact is that I'm using their product, so to speak, for a commercial DVD. So unless I come up with $3,000 pretty quick, I mean, I'm wide open to a lawsuit.
Yeah, I just wonder how that works with if you just knew artists that would donate songs to your work.
Probably not these artists because most of the musicians that you've heard on Volume One are clearly on the occult bent.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the name Artemis Robeson, I mean that tells you all you need to know about where she's at, right?
Yeah. On that note, do you know much about this is just a random question, but do you know much about Sebastian Bach and all those old composers? Are they illuminated as well, would you say? I mean, do you know much about that?
Well, I don't know about Bach, but I do know that Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was at least an entry-level Freemason. He was, of course, the toast of Europe, most famous composer ever. And supposedly, allegedly, his concerto for the magic flute is said to reveal a lot of Illuminati secrets. And that is why this, most celebrated composer in all of Europe died a very lonely death, possibly at the hands of Salieri, his competitor. And he was buried in a pauper's grave, and no one dared to attend his funeral.
Wow.
Wow. Man, so we were trying to read through that paper. I printed up the file that you had emailed me.
Yeah, I gotta say, Leonard, you got any more stuff like this, you just send it right along, man.
Well, actually, as we talk through the night, I'm going to be sending you a whole bunch of stuff because the smallest series of files was about 40 megabytes, and I know that just can't be sent. So have you got access to Article 1?
Article 1? Is that what you had already sent me?
I sent you 2 emails.
I didn't get the second email yet. I'm sorry.
What I'm holding is From PSYOP to Mind War, The Psychology of Victory.
Okay, that is the final article that I wanted us to look at in depth. That's about 10 pages, and I want to go over about 2 pages of it.
Okay.
But the first article is called 10 Modern Methods of Mind Control from Activist Post. And I sent about 4 or 5 emails to you in a whole blitz of it.
Okay, I have... it's actually on the desktop upstairs, my email.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Do you have a thumb drive?
I do have a thumb drive, yes.
Okay. So either Dan or Sam could take the files that I'm going to send you, from your desktop, transfer to the thumb drive, and then transfer it to the laptops, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have internet access in front of you right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. This desktop has got about 17 things on it, so I got to wade my way through it.
Well, while you're doing that, Sam and I have been discussing after our first interview, and we hit the 1,000 views part there. We got thinking we really enjoyed doing this. So we're going to be working on trying to put out an interview a month with different people in these types of genres, from the secret societies to transhumanism.
It's not really going to be focused on us. It's about the individuals that we talk to. It's
Right.
about just to learn from them, because we're not experts on this stuff.
Well, I would highly encourage you to do that. I'm, kudos to you guys for doing this, because it's not easy. And as you know, it involves taking a whole bunch of audio files and cutting them up and then emailing them. And then it's not easy.
I'm really happy to be able to talk to you this time about media control, because I think that's like one of the biggest illusions out there among most people that I know, that even say, oh, well, I won't watch this particular news station, but this one's okay. That kind of mentality. And it's all over. It's not just news, it's radio, it's NPR. So this is going to be a really important conversation for those people, especially the people at church. Those people are really near and dear to me. And unfortunately, they all plug into the TV every night.
Oh, totally. You have no idea how cathartic this is for me, because I cannot talk about this with my own family and friends and church members. And I don't say that to puff up my own ego. I'm just saying that I just can't talk about it, not because I can't articulate it, but because they don't want to hear it.
Right. I know. Did you say your own family, like your immediate family?
That's what I said.
Ow.
So, oh yeah. I mean, sometimes I send a barb their way to, show the frustration that I have. I said, it's kind of funny. I can talk to 3 million people and get a 92% thumbs up rating, but I can't talk to my own family about it. I guess there must be a conspiracy theorist. I make stuff up,
Yeah. Wow. I would have thought, because I've watched. I think I've watched every one of your videos on your channel, and the video where you won the award for the DVD, you were thanking your family that was there to support you. I think they were there, right? So my assumption, which was silly for me to assume, but I thought they were in support of you for what you were calling out here.
Well, just because they're physically there doesn't necessarily mean that they can accept most of what I have to say, and they certainly can't accept all of what I have to say.
Yeah. And
we'll get to the reasons for that tonight.
Cool. Hey, and I just wanted to say my mother, she actually has kind of been going through the paradigm shift, and I was really surprised. And she just loves listening to your interviews, like big time. So.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Thanks for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's something that I'm very conscious of, because I don't want to come across as a narcissistic know-it-all.
Right.
And I hope that's not the case, because I'll tell you what, one of my Achilles heels is pride. And lately God's been really hammering that home. So I got to keep myself humble. I got to realize just how dependent I am on Him. And just realize that this is not about me. This is about exposing evil.
Right.
Excellent. Okay, so here I go. And I'll start off with Article 1, activist posts. I got about 24 articles in front of me. And that, by the way, is a distillation of about, over 300 articles that I had in front of me. I spent about 5 hours, hitting about the top 20 to 25 articles that I would like to go through. So, I mean, this has been building for about 5-6 years. I just say, oh, that's a good article, and I archive it, and then I've got everything categorized and saved on separate hard drives. So in case my entire house burns down, I still have the data. It's crazy. Okay. Still trying to find that first article.
Oh, hey, I have a funny one for you.
Sure.
I thought you might get a kick out of this while you're sitting here, looking through your stuff. So what I didn't mention at the end of the last interview about the Mason that I had met from.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, what I didn't mention in that conversation was when he started off the conversation, when I asked him if he was a Mason, he said, "Yes, are you?" I said, "No." And he goes, "Oh, you should join." And, he was constantly trying to recruit me throughout our conversation of, historical knowledge that he had. And he said, anywhere I go in the entire world, wherever there's a Masonic lodge, they will feed me and clothe me. And that was something that was really important, I thought, that I totally left out, because that's the hook, line, and sinker right there, man, protection. And another funny little coincidence that I ran into, I forgot to mention as well. I was driving on my way back from the grocery store, and there was a mail, like a minivan delivering mail. You know how certain postal workers use their own vehicles. They had a light up above. Well, on the back of I guess on the back bumper, it looked to be like a sticker or some type of fixed emblem, but it was a pentagram, right? And I'm like, that's really weird that they would just have a pentagram on their bumper. And so I get up because I'm behind them. I was a distance back. I kind of sped up to look at what it said, and I'm looking at what it says on there. And my wife's with me, like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just want to see this. It's a pentagram. That's kind of weird, here in this little town." And it says OES, and I go, OES. What is? Oh my gosh, Order of the Eastern Star.
You got it.
And I was like, no way. Female Mason delivering the mail. Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's everywhere in this little town.
Oh, yeah. There's, what's its name? The Daughters of the Rainbow, or Jacob's Daughters.
Job's Daughters, right? Or something like that?
Job's Daughters, yeah. And I mean, there's all kinds of sub-denominations, but it's all basically different flavors of the same thing. Okay, so online, people have accused me, or have attempted to accuse me, of being narrow-minded because I'm a Christian. And I have a beautiful comeback for that. And it's not vindictive in any way. And it goes something like this. You and I know less than 0.1% of all that can be known. So you are basing your entire worldview based only on your experiences with an extremely limited database. I, as a Christian, have assumed my understanding of the scriptures to be my database. That database was written before the dawn of time. And a quarter of that database lays out the entire plan of history before it happens, most of which, over time, has already occurred. So I asked the person, what's your database? Your opinion, as narrow-minded as it is, or the facts as laid down by God? I wouldn't want to be your narrow-minded self.
I love how Kent Hovind put it. Atheists will go, "I don't believe in God." Well, son, do you know half of everything?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's just say you know half of everything. Okay, could God exist in the other half you don't know?
Yeah, exactly.